Hey
Yes.
guys, welcome back to the Let's Talk Digital show by official Gaurang, powered by Craze and Media. With us today we have Jar from the JarHeads CNFT.
What's
And
up?
yeah, man, so it's pretty great to have you live in front of me. And like I've been looking forward to this moment like ever since I saw your project, and I think I spotted it early January. That's when I like chiseled into the Discord server. And I'm pretty much like I don't like texting a lot. So I pretty much like just stayed away from texting and just going through the whole chat and the whole vibes that the whole community was putting off at that time. And yeah, and then I just popped in and like let's just go deep into this because I just kept my love for your art just kept on increasing every single sneak peek. So a sneak peek a time, like
Nice.
it's pretty crazy. And I minted. So my story of minting a jarhead was pretty crazy. So I was out in some function, family function sort, and yeah. So because of the time zone gap, I had a calculation mistake of what 35 minutes. Okay.
Oh man.
And I
Yeah.
I had the timer on the alarm. Like I have multiple timers on so that I know like how much time is left. And yeah, so I was driving. Like I had 20 minutes according to my time left with me, and I was driving pretty fast that day. Like no one should drive fast.
I
I
hope
crossed
not too
like
fast, man. I hope not too fast.
yeah, can't just say that. Yeah, so I literally had to run home with my laptop in my hand, just
Wow.
because I didn't want to miss it. Because I wonder like the early mints like always bring out the best stuff. So yeah, and well, I at least got three, which is pretty cool.
That's awesome, man. Can I just
Yeah,
say that's just it's still pretty crazy to hear that kind of story because like on my end, I'm just like, all right, we're gonna be minting at this time. Then it just my imagination, like, it can't take into account all of these different people going through all of these different experiences, and just hearing your experience in particular, that was, it's interesting to hear. So nice, but I'm happy that you got to get three.
yeah,
Yeah,
man.
dude,
And I
thank you
love it.
so
I'm
much.
getting it printed on the canvas. So right now I'm
Nice.
getting two of them printed on a 10 by 10 inch canvas. It's gonna drop pretty soon. I'll be sharing that in the community as well. And yeah, I'm
Dope.
looking forward to like upscale it and get a full size jar.
Yeah, man. Yeah, let's do it. I'm
Uh,
excited for you, man.
Thanks, man. So yeah, without much further ado, let's give the fam what they want. What's next
Let's
for
do it.
Jarheads?
Right. So I've actually teased this a bit. Well, I've kind of also announced it in the newsletter, but just to make sure again to everyone here that's listening, um, the Jarheads is my first and last PFP project in Cardano, and this project was really an entry point for me as an artist to kind of show the world what what else I can do. um I love I love what the Cardano community has done, and all the possibilities it's giving artists like myself. But I think PFPs are just one part of the equation, and I think right now, um, it might be a risky move on my part to share more of my original art. Maybe it's not something that is the norm when it comes to NFT projects, but it's this is this is just an opportunity for me to kind of live and share my truth. And like, I if you can just imagine someone just making PFPs all the time, for me that's scary. I wouldn't want to be doing that all the time. So um right, so what I can say for everyone listening, and you know um it's going to be more of like an exhibition style drop, where, let's just say, who knows, maybe I'll just be releasing 5 paintings, and they'll be sold through auction style. um, maybe some, stealth drops here and there just for jar head holders, like way cheaper than, just to keep people excited and on their toes, and at the same time to give back. Um, but yes, that just jar heads is my first and last, and moving forward, we're just gonna be producing original art for the community. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, man, I'm actually agree that creating PFPs all day long and just having season over season just makes it monotonous for you more than us. Like for you to go through that same process again and again. I mean, like you will just be able to constrict yourself in one set of the creativity while you are capable of much more.
Right, exactly. And I think um also for everyone that was here from the start, I think just giving them, just making this one project, it solidifies like the community even more, because like this, we're really in this together, just the way I look at it. And I think moving on from to the next project, which are my original art, it's really going to be a test, because I'm not sure if there are other artists doing this kind of move yet. If there are, I'd love to see how they're doing it, because I'd love to learn and just to make this as efficient and effective as possible. But yeah, man, this is it's quite risky, it's quite bold, I say, and it's all sorts of exciting as well. So definitely excited.
Yeah, man. Like, no matter what you do, no matter how risky it is, I have a good feeling that the whole Jarhead community is going to back you up no matter what. Be it physical drops, be it exhibitions anywhere in the world, we are there for you, man.
Thank you, man.
And yeah,
Thank
and
you.
talking about physical jars, what the like the possibility of us getting one for ourselves?
Right. Yeah, man. That is exactly something I would love to do. And I'm trying to take this. It's all still so overwhelming. Like I know I know it's been a week, but still I'm still trying to wrap my head around stuff. You know, I'm a bit of an introvert, and I'd rather be just making art all day long, and having to um you know I feel this responsibility that I didn't feel before I launched this project. And it's both inspiring, and it makes me a bit anxious too. Um all because, as I said, it's risky for me to be doing this kind of stuff, and I just want to make sure that um I can please everybody, even though I know that can't never be the case. You can't please everyone, but for the
Right.
community, right?
Yes.
So in the case of physical jar heads, I want to make sure in terms of just logistics, everything can go as smooth as possible. I'd hate for something to happen where, you hear stories, whether if it's just digital
Transportable
products or
damages.
yeah, and so just that kind of stuff. I don't want to rush into things. And although I do know that there is, how should I say it, not necessarily a timeline, but there's steps to making progress into building this thing. And
Yeah.
right now I think that could be either the second or the third step in my priority, because right now I'd like to keep things digital for the next drop, just to keep the
Keep it
community
simple and
involved.
keep it moving on.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
So it gives me enough time to make sure that everything, just in the physical kind of stuff that I'll be, hopefully be releasing in the future is hopefully smooth enough that everybody gets theirs on time, happy, packaging's great, and yeah.
Yeah, man. Like I love to like help you brainstorm on that as well because I have an experience with packaging and manufacturing since I have been in the digital strategy part. So yeah, so if
Nice. Yeah.
anytime you need any brainstorming session from your community, I'll be there.
Yeah, man. No, and exactly. And I just gotta shout out to all the community members that's been brainstorming. Like I've been reading messages and like it's crazy, man. It's like
I
and
mean,
it's
like
so
it must be overwhelming for you more than just like the flood of messages you were getting pre and post mint
I'm
are just bonkers, man.
I'm
And the
telling you,
floor price
yeah,
rise.
exactly. Well, although like I try not to check like the floor price, like
Yeah, man, that's the best
not
way
as
for you to keep sane.
exactly. But yeah, man, the community has just been so crazy. I've never experienced anything like this in my life. And like I gotta be honest, there's like so many times I'd like to, like jump in on the conversation, but this just is the
Just holding
introvert
you
of me
back.
that just kind of like maybe not now. And sometimes
Right.
when people talk about the floor, I don't think it's right for me to be talking about that kind of stuff. So I hope that
Correct.
everyone
Correct.
listening is like, like sorry, sorry. I
No issues,
appreciate
man.
everybody that's yeah, I appreciate everybody that's willing to help. And like in terms of the marketing side, like thank you so much again. And let's get to work. I mean, I appreciate your help, your offering guidance. And you know I'm speechless right now. I'm speechless. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So yeah, so what did your family? So what was that situation like? Because the interview I heard that says your initial phases of actually getting into art was the paper your mom used to get back from office. That was your canvas at that time, and right now, like we are seeing digital canvases. So was that journey for you? How different it is for you, and how did your family react?
Oh man, it's crazy, man. Yeah, like it was actually my sister that had to tell me about the floor. Because I actually slept that night because of the
I
time
mean, you
zone.
were pretty exhausting for you. It
Yeah.
must be.
Yeah, and no, and actually even before that, when we sold out, I was asleep. I because I like I was thinking, right, like maybe it'll take like 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, who knows, right? So I went to sleep after the first night. Then when I woke up, I was like, oh,
Sold out.
yeah. So that was pretty nuts. Yeah, and just like the flood of messages, people saying congratulations, like, um, and like it just is so overwhelming too. But when you hear it from family and all the people that just know what you've been doing, that it means a lot. Not to say that the people from the community congratulating me doesn't, like I love you guys so much, but I mean, it hits different when
It's
they
something
see you there.
personal, yeah. It's something
Right.
personal. It's something which only you can feel, and it's yeah. I mean, like it should feel pretty good to have your family like have pride, have big hopes, and like just
Right.
achieving the dream, man. The
Exactly,
dream's
man.
still big.
Exactly.
It's ways to go, but yeah, it's still like you're on your way, man, and that's pretty cool. Me personally, like my story of how I got 3 jars and then I was pretty exhausted. I like so I was basically calculating. So I saw we were getting updates of how many jars are left. I like yeah, I could squeeze in 4 hours of sleep. Yeah, so I was planning to get 3 more jars for myself because I personally had hopes that once I minted, I might not be able to buy one again off the floor. So I
Hmm.
like just let us squeeze in 4 hours and then like get up and mint more. And I get up and I saw it's closed and then I saw the floor price. Damn, bro.
What is the floor price then? I'm curious actually. Was it like 100, 100
It
and
was
150?
at 135. That's when
Right.
I opened my eyes. The first thing I saw was like I keep my phone right beside my bed. Okay. I got up, I like, bro, what? And that's the first thing I have been doing ever since. like the first thing I get up and see in the morning is, so I have the tab, Google Chrome tab opened,
Right.
for JarHead, for JPG store of JarHead. I get up, I open like refresh, and the first 3 days were pretty crazy for me. And like I have never had such a good investment.
Well, I'm happy for you,
Yeah,
man. Yeah, like seeing the stories of other people too, man. Like, it's good to see. It's like it's super heartwarming in all kind of ways. And right now, like, I told you, like, I don't necessarily want to check the floor price, but just hearing
right, right.
the what people have been sharing, like how like tough times, like they've been going through like tough times, and like how they
The
minted at the
lives have
start.
changed just because of
Yeah,
this. Correct.
that is that is another thing that it's so hard to process, but at the same time you're just like, wow, thank you. Like, I'm happy for them. Like, so
Yeah,
it's
man,
crazy.
you must be feeling like eccentric just because you got to help someone just because of your art.
Dude, like even talking
Um,
about it right now, it's crazy. Like, you're reminding me of like the messages I'm seeing, and like the people have been saying, like the people, like what they've been saying, and it's just like, oh wow, this is this is still crazy. So yeah, it's still
yeah.
all very fresh.
So shout out to Vendetta because he brought you into Cardano. Uh, how big of a force was he for your help in contributing of community building in Twitter and Discord? Because I remember when I joined Discord, it was like not even close to 700 members that time, and like uh, I saw someone's retweet on one of your sneak peeks, and I just like that just grabbed an attention. I came in because, and then I went through the whole Discord, the whole server, and I like really found it interesting that it was pure art, no roadmap, no whitelist, no nothing, man. You either become an OG, and that's that's basically that. And I strive for that OG position, man. Like I literally strive for it.
Nice,
And
man.
I got it, like I got it minutes before you just close the spot.
Really? Oh
Yeah, it is just
wow.
minutes before. I remember I was talking to someone from the show, and I'm still one level away from the OG squad. I have no idea how I get it because stuck in real life work, man. It gets pretty like hectic to handle both stuff together. So like yeah, I literally subscribe to Discord Nitro for your OG squad.
Wow. That
Yeah.
appreciate you, man. Yeah, that's crazy. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah. So how was that whole community build session going on for you, man? Like, I know Vendetta helped you through almost all of the processes. A great friend at your side, man. So how did that happen? You literally went from 600 to 1500 in like in half a week. That was the
Right.
growth you got, man.
Right. Well, well, to be honest, like, uh I don't know, man. It's like really like a first hand experience for me. So I can't have like anything to compare it to. So, but like from what I'm hearing, it's pretty crazy, right? To have this kind of growth.
Growth, yeah.
Um, but in terms of just me trying to give myself like and to share more of myself, I think the way I tried to do that was through the newsletter. And like for me until now, it's something I really value in terms of giving the community my thoughts and my process. Um, and honestly, it's tough for me to kind of write and to share and to be that vulnerable, especially since like like it's from nothing to now what it is. Like it's so you're feeling all sorts of
It's euphoria.
anxiousness. Yeah, euphoria too when if it works out, right? But when you're
Yeah.
starting out, you're just like, I I love making my art, but at the same time, like there are people that have their own opinions. Then I totally respect that, but at the same time, sticking to my truth and being able to share and to stand for what I stand for. It's just it takes it was a bit a lot more challenging than I
Nerve
thought.
wracking for
Yeah.
you. I mean, like, I
Sorry.
understand nerve wracking for you. It must be nerve wracking for you, man. And I
Yeah.
understand
Yeah. No.
because I myself am an introvert. I don't look like that, but I am an introvert. So I get it. Like I from your newsletters, it's like almost pretty self-evident that you rather have your thoughts put out in one go rather than having to like answer every single person. And
Right.
I've seen like from your newsletter, like I think people got more interested and more inclined towards the project because of how deep and personal you went in those newsletters, and
Right.
it's still
No.
pretty
Thank you.
crazy.
Yeah. No.
And
Like,
the
and
newsletter after your mint, sorry to interrupt, but the newsletter after your mint was like pretty emotional. I think almost everybody reacted that way. It was pretty emotional for us to read that newsletter right after the mint because you could feel
Yeah.
you, man.
Yeah. It's so is it took me honestly it took me more than an hour to write that because I was like backspace backspace like type something backspace like so I'm just happy that it resonates with people and I'll definitely be continuing to like sharing more like just as the projects keep on coming and just happy to share as much as I can.
Yeah, man. And talking about sharing, how did you get Serge to be a mod in your server,
True. I actually joined a Twitter space with the Ugly Bros Twitter space actually. So I was talking with Serge for a while, Jeff as well from yeah, but that whole Twitter space, I think for me, it was my very first one. And just being
man?
able to talk with them and connect just how we are now, it felt so I felt so at ease, man. And especially since him, like having been, having done such a successful project and seeing where they're headed, it was just so at the same time inspiring. And at the same time, I was able to connect. I felt connected in a way that just allowed me to be more of myself in that Twitter space. And
Right.
like he was so supportive. I'm so grateful for like to have his support and that he agreed to do a collaboration for the ugly Roo hair. And yeah, that's pretty much how it went down. He was just like, yeah, let's do it, man. Supporting, and I'm still so grateful for him. But yeah, that's pretty much how it
Yeah,
went.
and yeah, I never had the opportunity to talk to him yet. Like that's on my list. And it was pretty crazy, man. Like I follow him, and like he's such a great man, like such an inspiration to all of us.
He is, man.
Yeah, and it's pretty crazy. So uh let's talk about your inspiration. Is there someone you like find your inspiration? Is there someone you go to or something you go to always find your inspiration from? Because as an artist, I know there's always something which acts like a creative block. How do you go get out of that? Because
All right.
creating so many pieces, like I know it must have been like really tough on you to have so
Mm,
many pieces and then make sure that every single piece is unique to every single person who holds it. And I none of the jars can like none of us can say that it resembles in any attribute, any aspect. So yeah, so you must have gone through various creative block phases during that time. How did you get through that?
yeah. Well, I'll answer your first question in terms of like influences. Definitely it all has to do with just looking at artists of the past. So by artists, I'm talking about like obviously the great Pablo Picasso, even surrealists like Salvador Dali, and then you have like people from the 80s like Jean-Michel Basquiat. Then you also have that like Keith Haring. I love the way he just, even though my work doesn't look like Keith Haring, it's still inspiring me like in terms of the way he was able to make so many figures in such a swift motion. um who else? Countless others that I can't really, right, Willem de Kooning, Francis Bacon, all of these different artists that just kind of made their mark in art history. And aside from artists, just cartoons, stuff I'm consuming every day, um, you know, comic books, especially, just everything that I decide to pay attention to and I find um, kind of worth pursuing, then that for me is an inspiration already. And in terms of how I get rid of creative blocks, I like going out on walks, just to clear my head for a bit. um Definitely being around nature is just a way to kind of reset. But if I'm really in that zone where I'm sitting down and I'm really trying to work through, let's say, like a trait or like a painting, it really goes just you know just you kind of get into the zone where you get frustrated, you feel all these sorts of emotions, but you have to keep at it, and eventually something comes out of it. I'm not sure if I'm being clear right now, but
No,
one
no, no. I
example would be
understand.
like,
I understand it, man. Like,
right, yeah, so like, right, because like one example would be like, let's say I make a mistake. I'm working on this thing and I was like I'm being super careful with it, and I make a mistake. um Maybe like to some people they'd be frustrated and they'd start all over. But sometimes I'll do that. I'll start over, but sometimes I'll stick with it. Then it becomes something entirely new, and I'm surprised by what I come up with. And it's always a process of that, which is, it makes everything worth it,
and those are the pieces that actually come out way better than all of the others because you
Exactly.
literally strived for it.
Exactly, man.
And it
Exactly.
feels like a war on its own, like a pretty wrong choice of word here right now
No,
in
no,
this scenario.
yeah.
But yeah, that's what's going inside your head because like there's a constant interaction you have within yourself. Like this is
Hmm.
not going to work. That is the way forward, and you keep on contradicting your own thoughts, and that's a pretty hard situation to get out now, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, like I'm not gonna sit here and complain, but it's just the process. It's what I've
Correct, correct.
realized in the process. So yeah.
That is how you actually grow. So like, there's no need to complain, man. That's actually the process.
Right, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So okay. So we are running short of time. If you had to shout out to a person from the community, either the Jarhead community or Cardano or whoever in your life in personal space, like whom do you want to shout out to?
Man, you're putting me on the spot if I have to choose one particular person, but
I
I'm
am
gonna
pretty. No one would feel bad. Everybody knows that they are important in your life. They would
right.
know.
No, but yeah, if there's anyone, I'd like to just give a shout out to the Jarheads community, man. Because like every single person that that's participating, that's interacting, whatever your reasons are, it doesn't matter. But like the fact that it's just so crazy to think about that people are willing to spend their time, they're interested, they like the art. Like for me, it's still crazy, right? Because it's still all very fresh. But these are the people, that I'm just so thankful for, because they're so bullish on it, and they're so supportive, and they're like, it's all I'm just it's just really hard. It's just really hard to explain right now.
Yeah. No,
But
man. I
think
don't
you
want to put you
guys,
on spot.
yeah.
I think what you have already shared is way more than uh, we can take right now. So
Yeah. I mean, what? Maybe the newsletter I'll be able to describe it if I take
yeah.
my time to really think over it. But like it's much love to everyone that's there, and they continues to participate, because you guys are for real, like literally changed my life, and I'm just happy to keep this thing. I'm happy and hopeful to keep this thing going.
You know, you changed our lives, man. Bringing art like that, damn, bro.
I'm
I'm
saying,
pretty
bro.
sure I cannot get art like that in real life if I ever wanted to. Just holding
That's
that particular piece is crazy,
that's
man.
exactly, man. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, I want, like, especially now, like, for everyone that was there from the start, like hearing your story and just man, that's
We get it, bro. We get it.
crazy, dude.
Uh, yeah. So with that, like an emotional ending, we should like leave something more for the community. And yeah, with that, this discussion shall come to an end. So, guys, stay tuned for my next interview and get into that jar Discord server because you are missing out on life.
Please, like, and
Yeah,
you
man.
can just feel free to check it out and leave whenever you want. But
Yeah, man. Come for the
take
art, stay for
time.
the community because yeah, like we are pretty crazy and like look out for the jar newsletters because trust me, they're pretty crazy of themselves.
Man, thank you. I appreciate that.
Crazy, man.
Appreciate that.